After 18 years of being utterly ordinary, I finally felt I could shine. I was born to be a vampire.
It's so beautiful. We're the same temperature now.
I didn't expect you to seem so... you?
I think everyone's just looking forward to see Vampire Bella. My character wanted her to be changed right away. And here we are, 5 movies in, and finally we get a play.
I guess the biggest difference in making The Last Twilight was the ease at which it all sort of flowed out. Having played human Bella along the way the entire time and making the change, the jump into Vampire Land, it didn't feel like a change, it just sort of felt like the next very natural step. Every question in her mind and in her heart has been put to rest. Now the imposing danger is really just coming from the outside, whereas before there was major inner turmoil. And so now to play her as such a assured, very sort of stand-up person, it was just a little bit less stressful, even though the movie is chock-block full of milestone moments, which is like the wedding and the birth and all of those. They happened so naturally that, yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
I know when I signed on to the movies, I'd only read the first 3 books, and I would never have said that in the 4th one they'd have a kid.
For me, more than anything, it was the only way to really say goodbye to all these characters. It was just the conclusion was so beautiful and so moving.
I think this film has got a lot more action than the other films. You know, it's the big climactic showdown between the Volturi and the Cullens. It's got a lot of humor, I think, as well. There's a lovely kind of tongue-in-cheek quality about some of the elements. Things that people have found funny about the other films kind of gets included in this in a kind of knowing way, which I think is really great.
This one is very different than any of the other ones. I mean, one, the dynamic between the characters is different. My character, Jacob, realizes the correct place for Bella in his life, so it's nice to see the characters happier with each other. And then there's a lot of action in this one, more than any of the other ones, so I think the guys will definitely appreciate that. There's plenty of new characters that are introduced. It's a big movie. It's very epic.
These will irritate your eyes at first.
The main thing is not to move too fast.
Try taking a seat, crossing your legs. Maybe a tad slower.
And blink at least 3 times a minute.
The main challenge, I suppose, is knowing that there's so much expectation with these films. You know, so many people have read the books and they're so passionate about it, and it's come to mean so much to them. So just taking on a character that is already quite fully formed in people's heads, they have their own version of it. But I think with this particular film, because it's the end of the whole saga, trying to make sure that it's exciting, dramatic, but also a kind of satisfying end for the audience who've gone through, you know, some people have grown up watching these films, and so hopefully it'll be something that they're all pleased with.
I love doing all the fight stuff. It was fun doing action that wasn't like just 100% perilous. Usually Bella's just in a lot of danger and taking a lot of hits and falling down and running away, and this was all about running towards what you were fighting, and that was fun because I got to sit around and watch everybody else do it for ages. The love scene was interesting. Bill had said that he wanted the experience to be very shared, that he wanted it to feel like you were kind of inside of it. And to do that, he had us do our close-ups directly into camera. And you can see yourself. Instead of looking at Rob, I was looking at my ridiculous, sexy face. And I don't think that they used many of those shots, to be honest. It was pretty awkward.
Their goal isn't punishment, it's power, it's acquisition. Carlisle might not ask you to fight, but I will. For the sake of my family, but also for yours. And for the way you want to live.
The Pax will fight. We've never been afraid of vampires.
Whenever I signed on for Twilight, I read ahead in the books and really wanted to kind of understand my character and see where he was going in order to play where he should start. And so from the original Twilight to kind of play him as that kind of freakish, uncomfortable around humans, and then to develop him up to New Moon where he nearly kills Bella, to Eclipse where he can redeem himself, and here in Breaking Dawn he's a little bit more relaxed. There's a certain development and arc there that I was very excited to play since day one.
What I was trying to set up for his character arc from the first one was he's kind of fossilized at the beginning, and then he meets Bella and she sort of cracks him open, and he suddenly starts to feel for the first time in 80 years, and then spends the rest of the movies kind of catching up to normal people, and then becomes kind of a normal guy at the end. And I think it feels like quite a complete journey, I think.
Jacob was an extraordinary character to play because he never stopped growing and never stopped changing throughout the whole series. I mean, he started this franchise as a little boy. He matured quite a bit, and by the end of this one, he is a man. He finds himself in this one, which is very nice, and I couldn't have asked for more of a character to play than Jacob.
I have to report a crime.
The Cullens. They've done something terrible.
Allow me, my dear.
It's been like 5 years. I think at the end of any 5-year experience, you're going to see a difference between who you were and who you are. But at the same time, I feel very much like Bella in that I haven't changed aspects of who I am. I've just sort of gotten to know them better, and I can use them. I can actually like really utilize what I've got, rather than trying to figure out exactly what your tools are. I mean, you get a little bit older and you really realize what you want, and so it's easier to go and get it.
When you're a part of something like this, and then you grow from, for me, I was 23 and now I'm 27. So in life, that's a lot of life to grow in, and then being a part of something like this, that's given us all so many opportunities. It's like I get to travel the world, which is one of my favorite things to do, and it's just brought so much opportunity my way that I'm just so thankful for, and it's just perk on perk on perk.
I was kind of obsessed with being tortured at the beginning, feeling you have to be an artist, you have to be so confused and in pain all the time. And I think as I got older, I gradually learned to not be like that as much. It may not be a good thing though.
I grew up a lot myself during this process because I was 15 years old when I started this franchise, and now I'm 20, so I've matured alongside Jacob, and I have this to thank for that. This definitely helped me, and I learned so much throughout this process, and it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I soaked up everything, and I'm very thankful for it.
I'll never let anybody hurt you.
If I can still play 17 in 10 years, that would be ridiculous.